Well, we done did it again. Got another project car. So this one sat for, I think, 10 years. I found some receipts for inspection in the glove box that went back to 2010. And the guy I bought it from has owned it since 92. It's an 84 with an M46 non-turbo. Seen better days. Headliner is extremely rough. I might just pull that out and scrub it and paint it black. I did order black carpet. That should be here in a few days. The motor, already got another motor lined up because I'm not sure about this one. There was a rat's nest from the bottom of the battery tray sitting flush with the core support, pretty much covering all of this shit here. So I'm kind of skeptical on the wiring. As you can see here, someone had run a wire to the starter. So someone's tried to get it running at some point, and the oil is extremely milky. So I'm not really going to bother with this motor. I have another motor lined up for $150. Came out of my buddy's car. The guy he sold it to just wanted the car for the manual, or the M47, so he's going to sell me the motor. I will try to get this running just for shits and giggles. The guy said it wasn't getting fuel to the fuel rail, so I'll probably spray some starter fluid down there and try to crank it and see what it does. If it does crank over, this motor is getting pulled out and getting a full rebuild, and it's going to go in this car, because this car's also an 84. Odometer stopped at 409,000, and that was like 7 years ago, so it's probably got 500K on the clock. And I think it's time for a fresh motor. So this one will get a full rebuild, probably get slightly bigger rods and turbo and all that crap, but we're gonna hold off because that's AW70. If I can either find an AW71 or M46, which is the whole reason I bought this car, was to manual swap this car. But after seeing this car in person, the body's in immaculate shape. At some point it was repainted some graphite metallic. I mean, they did the bumpers, they did the trim, the mirrors, everything's color matched, which I think looks very, very good. So after seeing it in person, I think I'm just gonna throw a motor in it, daily it for a little bit. I actually, the guy who had this car in an 83 or 82 242 turbo. I'll drop some pictures of that, but it was extremely rusty. That car was not worth saving. He said the motor was good, but I only wanted it for this car and he wouldn't sell them separate, so I ended up buying both for like 800 bucks. And I sold that car to some junk car company for 400 bucks, made my money back. So I'm only in this car about 400 bucks. But I do have two new seats. They're cloth seats, and I was gonna redo them in the leather with the IPD covers, because I'm not gonna bother putting new covers on this with all the foam being moldy and hard. I'm just gonna junk these and recover the cloth ones. So we got black carpet, new seats, has no keys, just came back from the dealership, gave them the title. They should be having me a key here tomorrow so I can unlock the steering column and push it into the garage and get working on it. I think it has potential to clean up pretty nice. The back seats aren't bad. I mean, they're a little dry, as they would be, but I think if I condition them and clean them up enough, they'll come back to life. It's got the floor mats in it. I found the tan leather armrest in the trunk. I pulled the 3-gauge pod that sits up there out of the 242. And we got the tack. I mean, it's got pretty much every of those options you wanted on a 240. All the rare shit. Virgos. Got some bunch of shit in the trunk I gotta clean out. Just hoping I don't find any mice along the way. Spare turbo on a pre-90s manifold. So once I get in the garage, we'll update. Pulling the whole interior out and cleaning that up. And then after that, we should be getting onto the motor, and it should be running in the next week or two. I'm just hoping this harness ain't too chewed up. I mean, it looks kind of dry rotted here, but I'm just worried about what's lying up underneath this. Hopefully it ain't too bad. I might just do the harness anyway. Once I get the motor out, just rewire everything. Because down here, it's pretty bad. The tray's rusted out. All this is gone. So I got my work cut out for me, that's for sure. But, oh, great. Vacuum advance has been cut off. Surprised this heater pipe's still here. You don't see that often. That's the first thing that's gonna go though. Don't need that. Throttle was stuck, but I seem to have loosened it up. It's kind of slow to snap back, but should be all right. I'm not gonna use anything off this motor, I don't think. It's just gonna go straight to the side and wait for a rebuild to go in this car. Which this car runs perfectly fine, but I'd rather have a fresh motor in it instead of dicking around with that motor. I think it's earned itself a new motor at this point. Almost 500,000 miles with great compression still. So that motor will be go something. But I will drop another video when we get another update on it.